100 minutes. How do you measure a year? Okay, I'm done.
That's the soundtrack.
Oh, hey, y'all.
What got you on that soundtrack?
You know I like musicals.
Oh, okay.
Did
You
y'all know
just
that? I'm a theater geek, y'all. I love me a musical, okay? I love me a musical. So, yesterday, damn near all day, I had the Rent soundtrack on repeat. Uh,
sending me the links to the songs on Spotify.
I only sent her the one that makes me think of her. Take Me or Leave Me makes me think of her too, but I didn't think you should send that to your wife because that's really that's a breakup song. You know what I'm saying?
I do really like that number though in the movie.
I kind of got her into theater type stuff because
there was no option. Yeah, you moved it, and then I'm gonna sit back. Here, let's do that. Yeah, so I didn't really have a choice but to start liking musicals, or else my life was gonna be painful.
Very much so, because I stand for a musical. Yeah. Which I have to understand.
I can now even tolerate Twilight. I don't like Twilight, but I'll deal with it. But I'm fine with musicals as long as I'm watching them with her.
I don't make her watch Twilight like that, y'all.
Yeah. It's like once a year she'll like binge all of the movies in one weekend.
And it's actually coming up. The problem is I've been wanting to watch it, but we ain't got no DVD player, you know what I'm saying?
I think they have them on,
you gotta pay for them. And I already have all 4 DVDs right there. So why would I repay for DVDs I have? I'd rather just buy a DVD player. I wouldn't have this problem if my little cousin would have taken my Xbox as if it belonged to her in her life. You know what I'm saying? So,
shout out to the kids.
That part. Because I used to have an Xbox One X, yeah. I used to have one.
She has it mounted to her wall and everything.
When we moved out from my parents' house, I guess she just decided that was her Xbox now. Sorry, y'all. We forgot our TV was on. Y'all might hear that in the background watching YouTube. But she just said she told my daddy, she was like, yeah, you could just mount it on the wall right there. I came in one day, I was like, say, where my Xbox at? My dad was like, oh, in the Maya room. I went in there, mounted to the wall. I was like, so I guess that's your Xbox now. Man. And she was like, I thought you was letting me have it. What?
Kids really be thinking you gonna let them have something that costs you $400.
What? And then y'all know how hard the new Xbox and the PS5's been to get, so I still ain't got one. I don't want to buy a DVD player. I feel like it's a waste of money. Yeah. I would rather buy a gaming system, but I can't because them shit's hard to get. Yeah. Okay, I'm done with my rant, but it's cool though. Y'all already know why we here. We better get into this podcast life because we love y'all. Yeah. We came to see y'all, and we gonna talk about some stuff. Let's do this. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another awesome day with Wifey and Wifey. I am Wavy, and this is Baby. Say hey.
Hey, you guys. This is Tuesday. I have my script today, so there's gonna be no flubs. As most of us know,
I don't need
as most of us know, this is the Wifey and Wavy podcast. We get on here, run our mouths. My wife teases me. I don't care. Make sure you follow along with us on YouTube. You can see our pretty little faces.
And the dewy of the day.
Which looks like very beach vibes, very summertime, very wavy for Wavy.
Even though it's rainy in Texas, where we are anyway.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so we have an interesting topic today along with the dewy of the day, and that is carving your own path. And by that, we basically mean venturing outside of
what you grew up learning.
Exactly. Yeah, so we'll talk about our parents and society's expectations, whether or not it was easy to step outside of the box, and dealing with the lack of understanding or support. But before we do, how are you, my love? It's morning time. My wife is not a morning person. So she She is really doing it. I'm proud of her.
It's after my attitude time, so we're fine.
It is.
You guys, I usually wake up fairly early, but in the morning, I pretty much just grunt at people and look at them crazy. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing pretty good. It's 9 o'clock, so I'm about to go to work.
Yeah.
I'm good. You know, nothing weird has happened today because all I've done is gotten dressed. So we'll see how it goes. I plan on working today because I didn't work at all yesterday. Oh, wow. I mean, I did, but not enough. So I've got some stuff to do today. So it's going to be a decent day. Around here a lot, we say, have the day you have, because it's important that you not set expectations on people's lives. Because
with saying, like, have a good day. What if I don't?
Yeah.
What if that's my
so I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to have the day I have. I'm going to put in my all, because that's the type of person I am, even when these people make me mad. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Let's do this.
Yeah. You know,
what about you, love?
I've been up. I got out of bed at like 3:30 this morning. So I've already pretty much had a pretty full day, getting some writing done, dealing with the kids, fussy baby all night. I even got caught in a hailstorm. Unfortunately, I didn't get any hail damage, so...
Same. The other day when it was hailing, I got caught out there. I was so mad. Like, y'all ain't gonna put one dent in my car?
Not even a little one. And it seemed like pretty good chunks of hail that, like, just kind of swarmed through. The kids thought it was hilarious. They were like, I hear it. I'm like, you don't... I'm just waiting on McDonald's to bring me my coffee, boo. Like... We don't really need to commentate the rain. But, so, pretty good day. And, you know, the rest of the day ahead of us. Busy. For me and for you. So,
yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with carving our own path. So.
That is very true. You know what, guys? We're not even going to stick to decorum. We're not going to even take a break today.
Just zoom past it.
Because, you know, like she said, we got... shits to do, you know what I'm saying? So let's do this. All right. Just thinking about this topic, the way it kind of came about is whenever we were doing the religion topic, we were kind of thinking about how a lot of people in the world just never tried to venture out from what their parents teach them, and that's how you have this continuing cycle of negativity and bigotry in this world.
Yeah.
Sure. Because if you think about it, racism is this thing that gets passed down from parent to child, from parent to child, from parent to child, you know, from older generation in somebody's family to younger generation. And it's like, as a kid, you just absorb these things that you're taught. And if you never, ever say, hey, I'm going to go and try to find out for myself what type of person I want to be.
Yeah.
And you just accept how they've decided that you're going to be in life. And you just okay with that. And you just go off on these tangents about stuff that you've never even tried to figure out for yourself. You continue in this cycle, just spiraling downwards.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. And it's not even just like the ignorance of like racism, sexism, the big isms of the world, classism. It's also the way you choose to live your life. The majority of people, the way that they live, it mimics or mirrors how their parents live, to the point where, you know, men, 9 times out of 10, they marry somebody that's almost exactly like their mother, which is, you know, it's people seeking out the familiarity they always know. And I think that's more of a human thing, but you don't have to. You just don't. And I know a lot of people I'll say this. I saw, and I talk to people a lot about the dreams they have for themselves. A lot of us, we didn't grow up seeing people follow their dreams. We saw people being practical and doing what they needed to keep food on the table and a roof over our heads. So as we get older, you don't think that you have the right to have a dream, or you don't even know where to start, because all you know how to do is be practical. And I think that's, at least for me, that's what I was taught. So as a kid, as I was starting to go out on my own, that's what I clung to, is doing something practical, going to college, and then finding a job. And it was just going to be boom, boom, boom. It was dreams. Dreams don't pay bills, or, that's not going to pay anything, or this, that, and the third. And a lot of people, they have these big dreams that they just hold inside because they don't know, they don't even have the context to go after them because of the way they were raised.
And the crazy part about all that is this is not even just at home.
Yeah.
Society literally groomed you from the time you're a kid to work a 9-to-5 job.
Yep. To
work 8 hours a day for somebody else. That's why schools are so structured. That's why, daycares have your babies on a schedule.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because they want you to get used to somebody controlling
your time.
The way you move.
Yeah, the way you
get what I'm saying? Your time. Because why does it matter whether a kid is learning math at 10:15? You get what I'm saying? Or whether they need to make sure they go to lunch and eat their lunch in 30 minutes in school. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, all of that stuff is just structured to make a kid know what it's going to be like when they get in that job. Where you clock in at a certain time, go to lunch at a certain time, clock out at a certain time. And for me and Donica, we're literally trying to get out of that.
Yeah.
Because it's dumb. Like, it's dumb.
And I think more people are realizing that, especially the younger generation. You see them talk all the time. I do not dream of labor. I don't have a life's purpose. I just am. I think for people our age, it's a little bit harder because as you get older, you have more responsibilities, more obligations, and it's harder to just be like, even for us, we joke all the time, I wish I could we could just run away and live in the woods, like woodland fairies. But I can't do that. I have responsibilities, I have obligations that I have to take care of, sometimes more unfortunately than others. But yeah, that's kind of our main frame. And from the woodland fairies comment, you can probably guess, despite what we might look like, we are pretty much like new age hippies.
just a little bit. I would not like to live in the forest because I have really bad allergies.
Yeah.
But if I could stay on some type of farm or like desert terrain, that would be perfect.
To the point that we, at one point, were pricing out land
and tiny houses.
Tiny houses, and had researched what type of chickens that we were going to put on our farm. So
I mean, we might still do that. To be quite honest, I'm on this path to where it's like I want to have enough money saved and be working for myself within the next, so many years. Yeah. So who knows? The house I buy might be on a farm. And that's where we kind of take the stand of moving away from what your parents teach you, right? Because you grow up in church or whatever, and as you get older, you should always try to research new avenues. Never just accept the things that somebody is shoving down your throat, right? And this is coming from me. I'm still a Christian. My parents were Christian, or are Christians. Were. Like, they left the fold.
Oh my God.
My parents are Christians, you know what I mean? And that's what they taught me. But when I was younger, I did a lot of research on other religions. I have a lot of friends who practice other things besides myself. And I learned a lot and absorbed a lot of other information because I want to find what's right for me. But not everybody does that, and it's a terrible thing to not look for what is healthy for you in your life and just take what other people give you.
And you in your life, I see a lot of people, especially our age, we all have this, it's like millennials still have this mind frame, this timeline, like, oh, because I'm 30 now, she's coming up on it. And I don't know, it's just like moving into that new decade. Everybody's like, well, I need a house and I need to be married and I need to have kids soon, this, that, and third. Like,
I can't tell you how many people we know that are on that tip. And it's like...
But that might not be right for you. Some people, yeah, sure, you might be on that path and doing that. But just because you feel like everyone else is doing it, which they're really not, especially in this economy, come on now.
I'm going to tell y'all one thing for sure. I'm not about to do anything that's not right. That's not 100% right.
Me.
Because we know people that have bought houses that they don't even like, just settled for a house. And both of us have worked in the mortgage industry, guys. When I say worked in the mortgage industry, that's what I mean. Donica worked in collections
and foreclosure prevention.
So
I
it's
have
like,
seen
and I worked in just like fulfillment of mortgage, like helping people with their questions and answering questions about their escrow, their insurance, their this, their that, their payments, and how they're going to amortize over so many years. Like, this is a 30-year commitment. I'm not committing to shit that I don't like.
If it looks funny out in the front, I'm not doing it.
And that's real talk. I'm one of those people that's very realistic. I've never had an issue with like buying a house that needs some improvements and making it my own. But what I'm not about to do is pay for a house that's $250,000 and only have so many options and have to settle for the choice that y'all are giving me. Fuck that.
Or have to settle for this because it's in the neighborhood I want.
Yeah, no. I want to have the money that I need to get what I want. But I've seen people be like, you know what? Well, I can get approved for $200,000 and I have $5,000 saved. That should be fine. Will it be fine? Will it? In the neighborhood you want to buy in with your credit score and closing and all these other things?
And when we say we know a lot of people in this situation, I'd probably say dozens, multiple.
Yo, and that just...
And I think that's probably, having worked in mortgage, and just the life experiences that we have, worked in mortgage, kind of seen things, worked in customer service, banking. I worked in collections for 4 years, and
I worked in all types of
stuff
and mortgage for like 7 years, yo.
And then for a hot second, I worked for the government and hated that shit. That was supposed to be my dream job, my stability, everything I'd been working for, and I literally hated it from the first 10 minutes. I was like, this. So, having experienced all of those things and gone through different heartaches and kind of opening our eyes to how the world really was in our early 20s, I think that's what got us to the point where we were like, this is all shit. And granted, that's just the realization that we came to. There's plenty of people who are perfectly fine and content and happy working in corporate America. And I'd say that majority of people are happy with the structure of their job, their 9-to-5, corporate America, moving up the ladder. The shit wasn't for me. And no matter how much I tried to make it for me, it wasn't. And so was it easy to step outside the box? Even knowing that it wasn't for me, not necessarily, because I'm very type A, I'm very 10-year plan. So there was a time when I had to mourn the plan and the vision I had for my life. But in doing so, it opened my eyes to the possibility of other things, other things that no one had ever told me about. No one ever said, you can go and write, and you can just write. Like, people told me writers don't make any money, journalism is dead, I'm not going to pay for your writing degree, I'm not going to, I'm not going to do this.
Which is all crazy, because nobody wanted to pay for her writing degree, but she has a degree in aviation management that she's not using. So you might as well have paid for me to write, because I use it. She uses that shit every day. She uses it every day. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird, because just us being together for the 8 years we've been together, this kind of goes into dealing with lack of understanding and support of your dreams. Like, and I understand that it's hard to go it alone.
Yeah.
But I promise you that there's somebody out there that's going to support you.
Yeah.
It does not have to be your family. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even have to be your current friends. I'm very much the type of person that feel like if somebody is not for me, they got to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took me a while to get there, but it's so much healthier for you if you can say, hey, I don't need this negative shit in my life.
Yeah.
And yes, we've been friends for a while. Yes, you're my family, but I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm not going to continue to allow this bullshit to be a part of my life. And I promise you, once you are at that stage where you can say, you know what, this is not working for me, this is the path I want to take, and if you guys can't support it, you can kick rocks. You move differently. Your steps are different, because
and people have to respect the way that you're moving, because they see that you're serious.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, I don't think you need support or understanding from anyone that you're actually close to. Granted, most of our friends and family, they support us as in, I love you and I want the best for you, so whatever you want, I'm down for. Do most of them understand? 99%? Absolutely not. They want the best for me, they wish me well, but they don't understand why I quit corporate America to go work in a warehouse for 3 years, so I could have the bandwidth to write. Your grandma, your big mama still asks when you gonna go back to school. Yeah. Like you ain't been out for like 10 years.
I'm not the type. I'm not the school type. And I've actually been thinking about it, but I think what people have to realize is that when somebody's going to school, they need to be going to school for what they want to go to.
Not just to be doing it.
And they need to know what that is.
Yeah.
At 18, so I'm the type of person that doesn't really get super invested in a lot of things. And a lot of people may think that sounds bad, but it's just honesty. I'm just being honest with you guys.
Yeah.
I don't get super invested with a lot of things. Like, you know how, like, some people are, like, huge football fans, and they, like, cut for it. They stand for it. I like football. I'm a Cowboys fan. Nah, I'm not doing that. Like, I just don't get, like, hype about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So to go to school at 18 as that type of person and say, hey, this is what I'm going to go for, I'm going to make this my career, was just, it just gave me so much anxiety. And I went to school and I took my basics and I passed most of them. I hate history. Didn't pass one history class. They used to make me physically sick with anxiety. But I mean, and I did it for 2 years. And I got most of my credits or whatever, and I could go back. But in my mind, it's like, okay, I've done the basics, right? When I do all these other classes, it needs to be for something that I can find passion in and find useful in my life, right?
Yeah.
So there's only one thing that I continually come back to all the time as far as what I want to do, and that's open up like a community outreach center / program where people know about the things that I didn't know about as a kid, because they're important, right?
Yeah.
And with that being the case, it just, there's probably only one thing that I could go to school for, and it'd be sensible, and it'd be business, right? Because I want to make sure that what I set up is structured well and is going to last.
Yeah, so
anyway, what I was saying was that the only thing that makes sense for me to go to school for would be business, you know? So that way I know that everything that I set up is going to be structured correctly. Mm-hmm. But I didn't even come to the realization that that was something I wanted to do until the last maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
So if I would have went to school at 18 and I was getting a theater degree with a minor in biology, right? So, which, I mean, I still love biology. I love science. It's very interesting to me. But what would a theater degree or a biology degree have done for me and what I really want to do and what's really my life's purpose, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
I still like theater. It's a passion of mine. I love going to the theater. I love being a part of it. I love helping out. But it would have done nothing at all for me as far as setting up this thing that I love and taking care of it, right? So having people put pressure on me to go to school right now at 18 and do the things that I need to do is absolutely fucking insane. I would never tell my kids that they have to go to school, right?
No.
Ever.
Especially,
and I think a lot of millennials are like that. Are like, I'm not going to pressure my child into going to school.
Just to be
I may say for their college, right? But if they decide like, hey, I don't want to go to college. I want to do this, this, and that. If it sounds feasible, I'll give you the money for the shit right now.
Or for it to just make it okay that an 18-year-old can look at you and say, I don't know what I want to do with the rest of my life because I'm a child.
You know, and I think especially in the Black community, we put so much pressure on our kids to know what they want to do with their lives when they get older. And I'm not saying I am kind of saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying that it fucking sucks, right? I'm saying that it sucks in America that I have to raise my Black child to be prepared to be grown as fuck at 18 when people that are not of color can still be acting like babies and their mama's calling them kids at fucking 26 years old. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With no responsibilities, never having paid a bill in their life, never knowing what they wanted to do with their lives, you know? And I just think that shit fucking sucks. It's terrible. So, yes, I'm going to be the person that tells a Black kid that they don't have to know exactly what they want to do with their lives at 18 because it's fucking true.
And not only that, a lot of people who grow up like we do, whether you're a person of color or just someone who was not rich, did not have a lot of means, you were probably not exposed to a plethora of things. You know, growing up, when you ask kids what they want to be, they say basketball player, doctor, lawyer, teacher. Those 10 basic things.
They don't even realize that the books they've been reading in school, somebody had to write them. Or the books they mama read them at night, somebody had to do the illustrations, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
there's so many other options.
And
for
it's
what you
not
can do
even
with your
just
life.
not even just creatively. There's
you could be a scientist,
so many
you could be anything. But kids don't.
If you like shopping, you can become a buyer for some type of retailer
or a personal shopper for a rich person.
There's so many options
making money
that you aren't exposed to unless you know. Even as a 30-year-old, I see stuff and I'm like, wow, how did you get that job? And a lot of the reason that people do get those jobs is because they know about them. You can't aspire to be something that you can't see, which is one of the other reasons that, you know, we've kind of committed to doing the things that we want to do and less of what we don't, is because we want not only the children that we have in our home, but the kids we have around us, cousins, this, that, and the third, to see two Black women, Black queer women, just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Because I don't know anybody in my circle that's just doing whatever they want. You know, everybody has a job or has this or has that. Maybe they have a side thing, but nobody is just fully enveloped in working on their own creative business, at least.
Which is something that, just to put it out there, lands into exactly what we're talking about right now. Every single person we know is either stuck in a 9-to-5 job, or is a lawyer, a teacher, or works in corporate America.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Just to make the point clear.
Yeah. So, which is why they don't understand.
Anybody in our immediate friend group or family
that's an artist,
that's just
or a writer,
or just out here grinding and hustling and working for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I think my cousin just got on the tip where, like, she's working for herself, basically. You know, Donica's basically working for herself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to get to the point where both of us are at home working for ourselves. And if I can do that within the next 2 years, well, that's what I'm going to do. Because I'm done with it. You know, I'm over it. I'm over the whole having to go to work 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day.
Be unappreciated.
In order to live.
Yeah.
You know? I can't even have time. You know, I come home, I'm tired. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even just, like, relax. Because that's just not the way that our life has been set up.
And it's crazy. If you're like an entrepreneur, like kind of on the same tip, comment down below. Just let us know who you are so we can see you, because it's definitely one of those things. I definitely work over 40 hours a week, just on writing alone, and then add in the podcast and editing YouTube videos when I'm on it. That's probably another 10 hours just alone. So working 50 hours, 60 hours for myself, getting up at 3 a.m. to write, it's not an issue. Getting up at 3 a.m. to clock in at a job, it was definitely an issue. And I mean, it just, like I said, it's not something a lot of people do understand. I don't necessarily need anyone's support unless they are a reader and trying to buy a book. This is what makes me happy, so this is what I'm going to pursue. And hopefully it's just something we find greatness together.
And, you know, for anybody out there that feels like they don't have support, excuse me, guys, I promise you that somewhere out there is support for you.
Oh, definitely.
I promise you. We live in the age of social media. I promise you that even if you are in a marginalized group, like, there is somebody out there in the group with you. You can reach out.
Who's looking for you.
You know, you can find people on Instagram. You can find, you know, on Facebook groups. Like, there's so many groups of people out here nowadays. Even if it's only 100 people that you find, you've found support for yourself.
And I'm really lucky. I've been writing for a long time, but I haven't been on social media and very active, like, in the community until last year, during lockdown. Because she convinced me to finally do it. And once I was out there, I had no idea how many people had written reviews on my behalf, written blogs about my books, and I didn't even know. So I have lots of people who are out there supporting me, putting my name out there in spaces, talking me up, saying good things about me, making videos and blogs and, you know, buying the books. And I didn't even know. And even still, like, they'll DM me, they'll message me, they'll support me, you know. So it's, even if my friends and family, they buy the books but they don't read them, and that does not matter, because I have so many people who will be like, you said you was going to release a book last week. Where's that at? And I have to answer to them. And
me included.
Exactly. So there's definitely, you never know until you actually try and put yourself out there to do whatever it is, whether it's books or writing a song or making t-shirts, who will come and show up and show out for you. It might be someone you never know all the way on the other side of the globe, but they will literally show out for you.
Yeah, so I mean, that's all we wanted to come on here and talk to y'all about. Just be who you are, and I promise you'll find that support. And you do not have to conform to what your parents or society tells you that you should be.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
Do what makes you happy.
Never allow somebody else in the way that you were raised, quote unquote, to define your path for the future. Because that's how you end up with so many people that are unhappy until they're fucking 50.
Yeah.
And then they decide, I'm going to be who I am. But I mean, you've wasted 20 years of your life, 30 years of your life living for others. And yeah, you may have another 30 years in you. And yeah, you may have gotten a lot of good things out of the 30 years that you lived. But they could have been so much better if you would have lived them for yourself versus living them for others.
Because personally, I look back at my 20s and wish I would have committed more sooner. Wish I would have kind of cut ties with what I thought I was supposed to be doing and leaned into what I wanted to be doing.
Facts. I wish I could have, not gone to college at 18 and just been out here figuring it out, because I probably would have known then what I wanted to do and been able to network in those type of spaces and figure those types of things out. I just didn't have it. There was so much pressure on me to do the things that my family wanted me to do, right? And they thought that they were pressuring me to do the right thing. And that's not their fault, because they're in this cycle. Yeah. This cycle of my kids need to do good in school, go to college, get a good job,
have a family, get married, have a family.
And that's just the way that, people are. Our families don't even fully understand us wanting to adopt, right? Why don't y'all just have a baby? I mean, it all comes back to doing what is best for you, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that's it, y'all. And I know this one was a little bit more hitting y'all in the head, a little bit more not so funny, but it's not all the podcasts are gonna be like that. I mean, we're two goofy people, and not every podcast is gonna be about relationships, y'all. Because I mean, I would hope that other people listen to us and want to hear what we say besides telling them that they need to break up with a girlfriend or boyfriend,
and just a both of them. A reminder: if you are looking for that, this is your okay. Break it off, sis.
She got to tell somebody to break up with somebody.
If you're looking for a sign, this is it. I'm gonna give you what you're looking for.
Fuck that bitch.
Cut. But on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for hanging with us. Feel free to hit us up on IG at Wifey, the letter N, Wifey.
Yeah, this girl looking straight down at the phone. Here you go, baby. Here you go.
My eyes is bad. We also posted videos of these episodes on the YouTube. You can leave reviews on Apple Podcasts and other places, I'm pretty sure. Not Spotify, which is kind of some ho shit, but that's alright. And buymeacoffee.com/wifey, the letter N, Wifey. You can contribute as low as $1. I told you I'm out here trying to live my dreams, y'all. Come on, help me out. Alright, on that note, thanks for riding with us once again. I am Wifey.
I'm also a wifey.
Peace.
You petty.